Kevin. Congratulations on your work on Zootopia 2, and I'm very excited to get to talk to you.
Thank you. Yeah, happy to be here.
Thank you. So going into the movie, this movie seems to be kind of diving into a lot of the darker sides of Zootopia, but more so than the first movie, especially with like new animals and the reptiles coming into play and everything. Was there anything animation wise that kind of became a focus for you guys as the story took that different, darker turn or something like that?
Um, I think it when I first heard about the film when it was first sort of being pitched, they talked about it being like kind of like a noir, like whodunit kind of thing. And I love that sort of genre of filmmaking. And I thought like Zootopia is like the perfect world for a story like that to kind of happen. So it was really kind of fun. And I hope that like, at the end of the day, the marching orders were like entertainment and funniness. And I think like, you kind of balance those two tones and it really creates a really fun sort of chemistry in the film. So I think, that's really sort of how we were thinking about it. I don't know if like I didn't work on any of the like the the villains or anything like that in the film. I did a lot of Gary the snake, who's kind of exact opposite of that.
For sure. Um, and considering how many different characters in this movie, we know Disney has a big history with like talking animal characters and stuff like that. Were there any like either past Disney movies that you guys look to, or just like animation in general that kind of inspired any of the looks or the movement for any of the characters in the movie, or was it mostly just looking at the original movie?
Oh, totally. I can speak to like, Gary the Snake a little bit. Like, Disney has a history of having snake characters, just like Khan, like and Shere Khan and stuff from Robin Hood and things like that. So we look a lot at that kind of stuff. Like just for instance, with Gary, there was a lot of talk about like, oh, should he have a serpent tongue or a regular human tongue? And the answer ended up being both. So you have what you need when you need it. And so there's times when he's like needs to taste the air because he's like sensing something and you use the serpent tongue. And then there's other times where he's just being like you're just trying to perform to Ki Hui Kwan's like wonderful voice performance, and you just have like the normal kind of his normal tongue in there, which is kind of like more of like a humanoid tongue but it works because the anthropomorphized kind of quality of the character. So there's like things like that. So we're constantly like leveraging stuff that we learned way back in the past, long before I was here. Um, but we're constantly like looking at that stuff to kind of reference like what did the old legendary animators do back then and how did they solve for that? And so we try to like really utilize that legacy that we have.
Yeah, for sure. And kind of touching on that a little bit, kind of with like the broader animation world, with how much things have changed over the last, especially like the last 10, 15 years in animation with going digital and going computer animated and everything. What are kind of the differences between for the development process for this movie, especially because the original Zootopia came out almost 10 years ago now. So like
Yeah.
I was wondering what are the kind of differences that you've seen in the animation world since the original one came out?
It's really funny, like being in my perspective as an animator and being along for that whole journey of seeing like the technological process. It almost seems like audiences' appetites just go up with every technological, thing. So the job has never gotten easier or simpler or faster. It's like every single time we invent new technology that allows us to put something even more stunning on screen, we end up just packing even more in there. And I think this movie is kind of like a perfect showcase of that, just like how much there is on screen, like the incredible amount of characters on any given frame and the stuff that's happening in the backgrounds and things like that. Like that wouldn't have been as possible, years ago, but we've got like, all this other, tools and engineering that goes into kind of being able to pull this stuff off. And so, for me, it feels like the job is as hard as it's always been, but that's because like the appetite for what we want to do is ever growing along with technology. So, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And I think we're running just a little bit short on time, so I think we'll close things off here. But I did want to thank you for the time I got with you. I'm very much looking forward to seeing the work you guys are doing on Zootopia too, and congratulations on the film again, and can't wait to see how it plays out when it comes to theaters.
All right. Thank you, Richard. It's nice to meet you.
Thank